For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. Jeremy Bradley here. This is The Scribble. Thanks for tuning in on your favorite podcast app. Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday. There are so many different kinds of groups on Facebook, and I didn't realize this until just recently, but I joined a community group for our neighborhood, right? And it's people sharing different, oh, be on the lookout for this. Oh, we just had something from Amazon stolen from our front steps. I mean, the usual things. So I didn't realize these kinds of groups existed, but it also makes me wonder about the maturity of people living in my neighborhood, because they're posting some things that have absolutely nothing to do with the neighborhood, and it's also kind of gross. So I've got a story about that coming up in just a little bit. And also, do you have habits and a routine? Does it completely throw you off, though, if something interferes or interrupts that? Okay, so we had a conversation internally here a little bit earlier, and I was being made fun of for different things that I do at the start of my day and at the end of my day. I'm going to tell you about that coming up in just a little bit. So lots to, 30 minutes of time-wasting fun, as I always say. So lots to kill your time on this Friday morning. It all starts on The Scribble right after this.
This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secret to losing 3 to 5 pounds a week without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt RX. For the last 2 decades, we've helped countless people lose thousands of pounds. And now, it's your turn. Learn how to lose weight with one simple phone call and no prescription needed. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a risk-free money-back guarantee. So, if you're ready to start losing weight, call right now and get a free month supply with your first order of Body Sculpt RX. Call now. You have nothing to lose but the pounds. 800-459-6838. 800-459-6838. 800-459-6838. That's 800-459-6838.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on The Scribble. In recent, I think since maybe we've started the show, I've told you many stories about people oversharing on social media and just the stupid things that people will ask, and sometimes it's just like they're wanting to vent. Usually I find the relationship stuff to be comical and humorous, where you'll have a fight with your ex, and then all of a sudden you go and you rally the troops on Facebook because he's such an asshole, and I can't believe that he's such a... And, I always just look at those things as kind of being petty. And one of the groups that I belong to... Now, for the record, I've mentioned this many times on the show before, I have no interest in social media. So for me, I'm not spending hours and hours scrolling, commenting, liking, whatever. I honestly don't even know, and this is true... I don't know that I've ever clicked like on a photo. I will comment, I'll do my sarcasm, I'll do whatever, but I've never done like, oh, what a great picture. Oh my God, you look awesome there. Because I'm just not that type of person. So for me to click on the heart to like a picture, never. I don't think that I ever have. And I'm part of a neighborhood, community group that I didn't really understand what it was at the time, but I just heard like, oh, there's different areas of the city, you're part of this community. So if there's an event or if there's something happening, okay, I can see that there's a post about it, whatever. Very quickly though, I realized that it's all the, what do you call them, peppermint petties in the neighborhood, where you've got people who are just complaining, oh, I had bad service at this restaurant, never go there. Has anybody ever had that? And I'm just thinking, ugh, it's just so gross and gossipy. Or somebody had a bad experience at one of the gas stations and the employee was so rude there. And I'm just thinking, tell the manager then. Like, why does this have to become a Facebook thing? And I've kind of ignored it in the past. Like if I were to go to it right now, I'm sure there would be, again, somebody ranting about, cats being loose in the neighborhood, garbage in the lane, whatever, some complaint, asking about where I can get my air conditioner fixed, what time is Walmart open until, and I look at those and go, you can't just Google phone Walmart, Google Walmart, and look up the hours. The fact that you're going to spend the time, hey, you know what? I'm going to go to Facebook, and I'm going to ask the question in the neighborhood group, and somebody will give me the answer. Just to me seems lazy. Like, why is that the go-to, right? I just don't get it. And I've mentioned about people who post, because I've read some of the posts on this show, about, just bitching about, kvetching about something and saying this, doing that, and you kind of go, is this really, like, you don't have something better to do with your time? And, again, need advice on whatever. Google it. Look at reviews. Like, just, I don't know. So the other day, and I was grabbing screenshots of this, so I can actually give this to you, like, word for word, as it was written and presented. Remember, this is a neighborhood group. It's got the name of our neighborhood, or our community, and then it says, your neighborhood, comma, your priorities. Somebody called Ashley, which I deleted now. Somebody called Ashley writes, I'm sorry for asking, but it's urgent. Does anyone have any laxatives? I had a hernia surgery on the 24 and was sent home yesterday, but I still haven't pooped since the 23, and I didn't have the money to cover the laxatives they tried prescribing after they weren't covered. I really truly need some. I can barely eat. I feel so nauseous and bloated, which is hurting my incision site and the drainage bag site, which is still attached until Tuesday or Wednesday. If you can drop off, that'd be absolutely amazing. I'm in, and then it says the neighborhood, like in the area. And so I remember, it's your neighborhood, your priorities. So there are some people kind of joking, oh, eat this, eat that, have a beer or whatever. So I wrote, remember, I'm going to be the bad guy in this. I'm already setting you up for this. I'm the bad guy. I just wrote, I remember a time when people would call or text a friend for bathroom assistance and not the entire neighborhood. Those were the days, sigh. So the person who posted, this person named Ashley, said, dude, I've reached out everywhere. This was my last resort. I don't normally engage in a battle, and I just replied, if this is a last resort, you need to rethink day-to-day life. Somebody else chimes in. Are your comments really necessary? She obviously is in discomfort and in need of some help. Have a bit of compassion. I'm sure she really didn't want to have to ask for laxatives from strangers. Somebody else. Wow, aren't you just rude? Then somebody else. Why does it matter? Like, she's a mother and is in need, and if people can't help her, she's going to try reach out other places. She's trying to get help. She's trying to help herself get better for her kids. And I wrote back, because nobody wants to read about shitting problems in a neighborhood discussion group. Okay, then don't read it or comment on it. Simple. LOL. People post all kinds of things in this group, and a lot of them people don't want to read about. Somebody else. Then ignore the post and move on. It's not that bad. I wrote, settle down. Don't crap your drawers. Although, ... So my point in all this is not about not having compassion for the person. It's sort of like, if this is your go-to, though, I realize, but there's other options. Take a cab or a bus to a hospital. Use an app and order something on the internet. Text a friend, call a friend, go to a neighbor, do something. So, but I'm just, again, it's your neighborhood, your priorities. We're going to read, I'm just going to scroll randomly on a Sunday night and see that somebody who's, by the way, not actually in the neighborhood, that's part of this community group, they're outside of our neighborhood, is saying that they can't shit and they need somebody to bring them laxatives. Like, is this where the world has gone? That, again, I was being sarcastic, right? It's not even a comment on she's having a problem. It's the comment of, this is what you're asking of people. I don't, to me, it just is odd. I don't know. And again, why I have no interest in Facebook, why I have no interest in social media and spend very little time on it. I'm sure if I participated more in these kinds of discussions, I'd be kicked out of the group, and then I'd have to, throw a tantrum because it's like, I don't give two shits. My point is that's when I open up the literally the 2 minutes I end up opening Facebook and scrolling in a day, that's the first post that I see. I need laxatives because I can't poop. Great. But again, if you've got all these friends on Facebook, do a group message to your contacts then. Do you understand what I'm saying here? That's like me going and taking a bullhorn in the mall food court. Attention, patrons. I have not been able to poop since the 23 or the 24. Like, you don't just, it's just so weird. And so going back to that whole thing about, do you know what time Walmart's open till? Do you know, like, I've seen other people asking advice about giving medication to your kids. I mean, that's even more serious. You're just going to, random people, you're posting a community group, hey, is it okay to give my kid 4 baby Tylenol instead of whatever, baby Advil instead of whatever? That's some serious shit here, ladies and gentlemen, because you're asking for medical drug advice from randos on Facebook. Call a pharmacy. Call a doctor. Call a hospital and ask to speak to a nurse. So that's where I look at it and go, this is your last resort, is posting to a community neighborhood group on Facebook. And maybe, and again, there's benefit of the doubt, maybe all the resources were exhausted. Maybe she did go to each neighbor. Maybe she did go. I don't believe that, though. Just based on what I've seen in the group and know what I know about people on the internet, I'm guessing she didn't do that. It's the go-to. It's the go-to. Hey, I could Google Walmart and see what time it's open till, or I could call there, but instead my thought is to go to Facebook and ask people and expect the instant replies, because in that time I could easily have just found the answer myself. I could have done it, but no, I need someone to do the work for me. I just feel you look like an idiot, that you're not resourceful, that you can't think for yourself, that you can't do. And if this is where we're coming to, and I don't know this person's age, and I have actually commented in the group before, when it comes to these little petty things that people complain about, I have said, like, I wish your age would automatically post with your comment. Like, I want to, because I don't believe these are adults. I don't want to believe that adults in my neighborhood are like this. That the cashier at the gas station was so rude to me. She was so rude to me. Watch out for that woman at the gas station. She was so rude. Or then there was another one about a parking spot at the mall. That this person was so rude. They took my spot, and then they honked at me, and blah blah. And then, sure as shit, the person, the alleged, wrongdoer, was part of the group and was like, yeah, actually that was me. And then you're seeing them like hash it out in like bickering messages back and forth in this Facebook, and I'm sitting going, these are adults. Oh my God, these are adults in my neighborhood. These are adults in my neighborhood. It just, you kind of look at this and go, does this happen everywhere? Is this what it's come to? Are people like this, or is this just the shit community that I live in? Is it a shit community that I live in, or am I like, do I? So I just, it's so weird. Now, admittedly, let me give you the flip side to this as well. There have been times where you will kind of get that heads up. Oh, hey, everybody, I live on such and such, and people are stealing your Amazon boxes from front. Here's a video of somebody stealing. Be on the lookout. I get it. So there are some very helpful comments that people post, but it's these like petty, these gripes that people have, and I'm just, I ain't got time for that shit. I ain't got time. In the coming weeks on this show, I'm going to talk about like needing kindness. People always say that, right? We need more kindness in the world. It's the holidays. Let's just love one another. Let's just be good to. No, there's some things that we don't need. We don't need people talk about, I can't take a shit. So no, we don't. That's not about my community. And there was this one where a woman said these 2 neighborhood boys offered to come cut our grass, and my husband was very proud. They allowed us to take a picture of them on the boulevard cutting grass. Kudos. If you guys want to get in touch, let me know. These guys did great work. They were offering reasonable service for a reasonable amount. We actually gave them more than what they asked for. That's a great kind of a post that I want to see in my neighborhood. But I don't want to see this bitch stole my parking lot and then blah, 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 blah. Like, ugh, I already even hear you. I hear you saying it. That your voice, like that you're on The Bachelorette or you're on The Bachelor, and it's like every sentence is going to go up at the end because she was such a bitch. She stole my parking spot and blah, 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 blah. I hate it. I can't. I'm separating myself, I believe, from the younger generation because I can't do it. I can't do it. We've talked about, working with younger millennials or whatever. I can't do it. I can't work with 20-somethings unless they have the maturity of a 40-year-old. I can't do it. I can't. Bonnie Winters. I'm looking at Bonnie. We had this discussion, Bonnie, what was it, last weekend? We were talking about this. That if we were hiring and if we need it, I said I wouldn't be able to do it. I can't have a Valley Girl Princess Snowflake or Valley Boy Princess Snowflake in our team. It's unless they are at that maturity. And I was at that maturity. When I was 16, 17 years old, I absolutely got along better with 30 and 40-year-olds than my own teenage, colleagues, students, or, classmates, whatever. I always got along better with adults. And so even in workplaces, when I was the young 20-something-year-old, I had relationships with the 40-year-old, the 50-year-old. I just did. When I was Bonnie and I worked at a publishing company years ago. Bonnie's, she's older. I'm the age of her sons, who are, in their 40s. I'm 40. And we were just different. We were just from such different walks of life. The three editors that we had there, me, Bonnie, and another woman, totally different people, but it just worked. It was just good. And so, I said, like, I couldn't do it unless you had that maturity of a 40-year-old. And I always hit it off. So there you go. But I'm just surprised that, the stuff that you see people posting in our neighborhood, I'm just kind of like, I either don't want to be part of this group, but at the same time, what I'm saying and I'm mocking these people, is that going to make a difference? It's probably not. It just makes me look like the villain and the asshole in the neighborhood. But maybe it'll make people think and go, yeah, I don't really need to talk about my shitting problems on Facebook to a bunch of strangers. It's not your last resort. There are options. I promise you, Facebook is not your last option. We'll be right back on The Scribble.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer. Save the money, save the hassles, and get the better blue pill. Dial 800-578-0179. That's 800-578-0179. 800-578-0179.
This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt, your shoulder hurts, and your back. Oh my God, your back. They're constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here is something you haven't tried. Pain Absolve. Pain Absolve is not available in any drugstore. The only way to get it is by calling today. We're so confident that it will work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase, no prescription needed, and best of all, each purchase comes with a money-back guarantee. Call now to find out how you can get Pain Absolve and get rid of your pain. Call 800-319-0582. That's 800-319-0582. 800-319-0582. Call today, 800-319-0582.
Isn't it crazy that you wait for payday, but before you know it, you're strapped for cash again? It's time to stop blowing your money and become a smart spender with the book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com. Learn simple ways to cut costs at home every day and during special times of the year. Don't go broke at Christmas. Don't remortgage the house for a fancy vacation. The book is filled with tips to save you money throughout the year. Check out the best-selling book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com or on Amazon and iTunes.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on the Scribble. I consider myself a creature of habit. Now, first of all, I hate that term because, I don't know, just calling yourself a creature seems a little bit weird, but I like things to be just so, as they would say on Seinfeld. So, Elaine, that was her criticism of Jerry, right? Everything has to be just so with you. And I'm very much the same way. I'm pretty sure I talked about it on the show, I don't know, either a few weeks ago or whatever it was, where I have to have my cup of hot water and cold water in front of me when we're doing the show, just because, I don't know, just when you're speaking for a long time, and this started from doing, my 2-hour radio shows, that, I don't know, you just need to have that moisture, right? And if it's cold, or sometimes if you've got a tickle in your throat, you might need some warm water, right? So anyway, I always have to have that, and one is always on the one side, one is always on the other side. Because I know that the hot water is on the right. So anyway, I'm a creature of comfort like that. I hate when I get, a new computer, a new phone or something, just because you've got to set it all up again. And maybe I'm just weird like that, right? Because usually that's an exciting time when you get a new device and you're like, yeah, I'm going to get it ready. I just want it to be the same. This is true, the same BlackBerry. I have three phones. The same BlackBerry that has my email and kind of work stuff. I've had the same one for almost 10 years now. It's an old BlackBerry. And it's on its last, the battery doesn't last super long. It's got to be, plugged in, and then you talk for maybe 20 minutes and it dies right away. It's showing its age. But because it's part of the older generation of BlackBerry, and before you go and mock, BlackBerry was an advertiser on our radio shows for many years, and basically I got paid to use a BlackBerry. I got a free phone, every year. And when you're used to it, right? I mean, talk to anybody who used a BlackBerry. When they moved from the keyboard to, whatever their new phone was, it's just not the same, right? It's different. And so I have always liked it. I just don't like, changing things up. And so I have these routines and people make fun of me. So we were talking earlier, you weren't here, that's why I'm talking about it now, but we were talking about morning routines and, nighttime, bedtime routines. So when you wake up in the morning, feeling like P. Diddy, do you have a certain way of doing things? Now, if you've got kids and everything at home too, right, you certainly probably have a routine, getting them ready for school, right? You make the breakfast, maybe they shower, they, pack their bag, whatever it is, there's still a routine. And again, if you're neurotic like me, you're looking at the time going, okay, we wake up at this time, we've got to be out of the house at this time. We might have a bit of leeway if we do leave at this time, but that's cutting it close. And that's how I've always planned my mornings. Now, when I was working really hard, now that I'm the boss, I've talked about this on the show. I roll out of bed at the crack of 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. So when you hear me doing the entertainment wrap-up morning show with the celebrity headlines at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm not even awake. I'm still sleeping at home when I'm on the radio at that time. But my morning, when I would have to leave the house and go to an office or whatever it was, because unless there's some kind of celebrity breaking news, and actually we did it for the Queen's funeral now that I think about it, that I am not waking up at 6:15, showering at 6:20, sending the dogs out, feeding them, packing a lunch, leaving the house, getting in the car, getting to the office at 7:30, 7:45 in the morning. But it was always, I had a routine. And then if my shower was quicker for some reason, I gave myself 5 to 7 minutes. Maybe that's a radio thing too. I don't know. Maybe when you're in radio, you have to know that, okay, it's going to take me 30 seconds to do this, 7 seconds to say this. And so my shower would be between 5 and 7 minutes. When it was in the winter and cold, maybe a little bit longer. And there were times when I'd look at the clock, I'm ahead of schedule in the morning. And really my morning routine was basically wake up, send the dogs out, pour them food while they were outside, let them in, go into the shower while they're eating, dry off from the shower and then leave. I never really I don't use hair product. I don't wear makeup. My attitude was I'm not dressing to impress. When I was going into work, I was impressing with the work that I was doing and my job, my personality, whatever. I've never been dressed up. I'm not a suit person. I'm not, It was like, I'm going to wear like a hoodie and jeans, and there we go. Maybe I'm not Mark Zuckerberg. I don't have that kind of money, but I'm not a complete asshole, maybe at times. So that was my morning routine. Then my team here, the team that I pay and that I've worked with, for many years, was making fun of me of my nighttime routine. Now, again, when you've got 2 dogs that have to go out to the bathroom, and we've got a rabbit as well, so I feed that. My husband he's a model, right? So he'll do his moisturizer, face cream, whatever it is. I'm sending the dogs out. I feed the rabbit. Now, I feel like these other things that I'm about to tell you are just safety and common sense things, okay? Because we've got 2 crazy dogs in the house, there are dog toys everywhere, okay? So these are things that if it's, dark in the middle of the night and it's on the floor, you're going to roll your ankle, you're going to, break your neck, you're going to fall, you're going to, So I make a habit of making sure the usual pathways in the kitchen, living room, bedroom, hallway, stairs, whatever, are free of toys. I just do that. I just do a sweep of the house, so that every, window, every door, any possible escape route, there's no toy. Because if it's in the middle of the night and it's pitch black and, power goes out or there's a fire or whatever, you're not going to break your ankle. So my team, my very concerned team about my safety was like laughing about that. Well, that's a little too much. I said, why is that too much? I don't think that's too much. You're basically making it so that you've got a clear path to escape. I mean, why is that a bad thing? So then it has me wondering, they don't want me to escape, and then I'm going to be worried that they're going to do something to my house in the middle of the night, and, there's going to be trouble. The other thing is, we have a pair of shoes at the back door and front door, and there is one in my pair of shoes in my office, which is sort of at the back of the house. So I've got a pair of shoes again, just in case. If it's winter, right? It's different if it's summer and you have a fire and you go outside and you're standing in your bare feet on the grass. Totally different than, because I don't sleep in socks or anything like that, right? So I'm going to have frozen feet if I've got to escape and evacuate and go. The other thing, because we both sleep, I sleep in my underwear. He basically sleeps fully dressed, especially in winter because he's from Brazil. So he's a little bit colder in the winter. I either have a bathrobe or some kind of a coat also near the major, windows, a front window and a back window, and the front door and a back door. Because in case something happens, I'm going to have a pair of shoes and something that I can grab on the way out. So clearing the floor of any obstacles and having, extra, clothing or whatever at the different exits. I was being made fun of that I'm being like too neurotic. I'm being too cautious. Can you be too cautious when it comes to safety in your house and evacuation plans? Isn't that what you were taught in school? They give you the map, right? Remember, you'd have to map out your house and draw how you'd get out if there was a fire and things like that? Well, this is the same thing, but it's also just assuring our comfort then if worse comes to worse. Send me an email. I want to know your thoughts on this. live@jbonair.com. Am I being a little bit too ridiculous? Is it too much, or is it just like why would I want to? So my house is burning down, okay, fine, or there's an intruder or whatever. Why is it bad that I want to have a warm coat and a pair of shoes by the door when I'm escaping? Tell me, send me an email, live@jbonair.com.
Who are the Kardashians feuding with now? What did that little thug Justin Bieber do this time? Who's getting hitched and who's headed for Splitsville? Hear the latest celebrity news and gossip every day on Entertainment Wrap-Up. The good, the bad, the ugly, but mostly the ridiculously hilarious. It's all recapped in this daily segment at entertainmentwrapup.com. Have a laugh at the expense of the rich and famous when they take themselves way too seriously. It's 3 minutes of time-wasting fun at entertainmentwrapup.com. Check out Entertainment Wrap-Up at entertainmentwrapup.com. Brought to you by Speak Free Books.
It's never too early to start thinking about your next holiday. Have you checked out Mexico recently? From tequila tasting, swimming with horses, to ziplining through the jungle and watching whales and dolphins in their natural habitat, Puerto Vallarta has it all. Visit mexico.jbonair.com to see all the fun PV has to offer. That's at mexico.jbonair.com for hundreds of photos, interviews, and videos from around the tourist hotspot. Check out mexico.jbonair.com for all the fun. That's mexico.jbonair.com.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on The Scribble. We've got less than a minute. I got to tell you, it was just yesterday, December 8th, that I heard Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You for the first time of the season. Now, you need to tell me, because apparently it's traditional to have it maybe like the day after Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving. When do you hear it? So is December 8th late, or is that okay? And I also don't get out very much, so I just happened to be at the mall when it was playing. But when's the first time of the year you hear that Mariah Carey song? I'm not saying it's a good or bad song. It just sticks in your head forever. Send me an email, live@jbonair.com. My name is Jeremy Bradley. This is The Scribble. I'll talk to you same time, same place next week. Bye-bye for now, everybody.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter at The Scribble Show. The Scribble is a speak-free media presentation.
If you want some